Louisiana beer reviews. Stag beer. Stag beer was established a long time ago, but under a different name. And the history goes back like this. In 1851, a man named Peter Gintz set up what became Western Brewing in St. Louis, Missouri. And he produced a beer called Kaiser beer. Then around 1907, by that time, the word Kaiser had a bad connotation because Kaiser William II of Germany started having a reputation as being a troublemaker, so they started having this anti-German sentiment around the country, so he wanted to come up with a new name, and they had a contest, and the name chosen that the public, there was a name the public submitted, and the name they chose was Stag. Later on, in 1917, this beer was taken over by Joseph Papa Joe Greasy Dick, and the Greasy Dick family took it over, and that was the family that produced the very famous Falstaff beer. In 1978, they sold it to G. Holloman Brewing of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And in 1996, G. Holloman itself was acquired by the Stroh's Brewing Company. And then Stroh's was bought out by the Pabst Brewing Company in 1999, and they own the brand today. So Pabst has owned Stag beer for 12 years. The beer is 5.2% alcohol. And if you look on the Stag website, they say it's just an ordinary beer that's good for stuff like steak and potatoes. Okay. It gets a C+ on Beer Advocate. I gave it a B. It gets a very fine rating on the Beer ME, and it gets a fairly low rating on Rate Beer, although they give a pretty high rating for the style being American style lager. I've had it before, of course, so I'm going to try to be open-minded. You can see some different versions of Stag bottles. The white from the 1990s and the gold from the 2000s to the present. It's not sold in Louisiana. It's only sold in the St. Louis area. Missouri, Arkansas, parts of western Tennessee, and southern Illinois. It's the only places I've ever seen it. Let's get it going. See any smoke? Is that carbonated or what? Look at that huge white head. I mean, it's amazing. Pale straw appearance. Go ahead with the smell evaluation. Not a lot of aroma. Some clean water and a slight grainy aroma, which really would be better described as a typical beer aroma. But it's very light, very, very faint. Well, let's move on to the taste test. Yeah. Indistinguishable grains. At the end of the sip, an onrush of hops, and I find this is a little hoppier than normal American style lagers. The mouth feel is light and watery, and the finish is crisp, clean, refreshing, and dry. So, like their website states, it's more ordinary than anything. It's a solid, stereotypical working man's blue-collar beer. I'm going to have this with 2 fried eggs, some pork sausage, some diced onions, and green bell pepper, so it should go well with that. Just a slight egginess on the aroma, similar to what I encountered with the Big Flats 1901, Schaefer Light, maybe even the Genesee beer. It's not pronounced though. Mostly you just get that beer smell. I'm gonna stick with the B. I'll probably drop. I guess I'll drop it to a B minus. It's good, but just so it's not fantastic. A little higher alcohol than normal. I got that alcohol rating off of Rate Beer. They don't really give the alcohol level on the website. Pabst Brewing is very poor about supplying a whole lot of information. Although I got to give them credit, when I wrote them a letter last year, an email, asking them what exactly were all the beer brands that they owned, they did send me a complete list. This enormous list of beer brands. So they are responsive when you inquire. It's just that their website isn't too informative. Anyway, Laissez Les Bon Ton Roulé. This is a good beer, but just so. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans.